kwa masana pewa. Enemy overtaking inakubalika. Ina record kweli. Yo. Wambie hayuko kwa sababu haina jawa kauke mate marapana sound hivi ni idha kuna manu wachache. Alipiana bigi sana ito John wenda zake mini Brooklyn boys nigeni chape chape. Dikini ya wote roho yangu ni ya mtu mmoja. Zimeni bamba zinashukia kodra. Kwa chekesha kidogo kwa tepa kwa pona. Ama cold mutafaka swama rapa taki kuoga. Ni mzinga na kunywa na chupa. Mechisani fya foreno na ifikishadi kwa kucha. Mebebo na manunda kimirista niko chuma. Karibia kwa mlango kauna shuka. Minayo sinaga maneno na kama wako na maneno wamesulubisha meno. Huku unapigwa tero mini fomo na mjengo na totajiri matajiri.
Yeah. Zero. Kama sauce, mindo sauce, mindo boss, mindo wild boss. Twende, nikinusu nikukatishe kingusu. Ama unapenda mastim nikukatishe kinusu. Umelewa na jua ujelewa. Umesikia kitu nimesema ma unadai sema tena. Yonimba ini moto inifawa na gwa yo rada sinikusho nikuba nimba kanitamu inafata mbla kubo kanisafi jo tunakiseti na mabuda kukwetu ni kuzuri sikuba hizo masawo toka shughuli do wakama sambaya sema kweli kuvuta mali si mbaya kati ulevi na mamoshi gani mbaya vile ni mbaya kati ya Messi na Ronaldo na ni mbaya paka painti yo dinga ni mze ikiwa mbaya vile ni mbaya suki light shika light ashaka vile ni mbaya zile vitu mzuri na ni mbaya shakuliza na niko kwa vibaya shida ni ati pia simu imenizimia sambaya kati ya white kwangu safi na imefuliwa vibaya vile ni mbaya hata kabla ijecheza irudiwe ni mbaya cheki look mbaya location mbaya mademu wametokea kwa shoot ni wabaya kulitia video na director ameshoot mbaya na kibitsa kikungia tracks ni mbaya
Nikakunirusha mdomo ndo wizi pigana. Kidevu ya kwanza ya pili shanza kuitana. Ushaona giza na ni mchana. Nikaona vurugwa na naitrana. Sijui pitisha na chukua. Kuna kitu yu ni boka sante kudangana nijua. Nikona mdemo lavi, nikona mdemo kibich. Kenye nasema kitemeo na chagua. Testenu ni chip, testi yangu Louis V. Nobody's judging me, liokoka na noza siari. I'm hot with this shit, hata konpendi una agree. Sini vijana wa street atfanyu puzi ya Ina record kweli. Siko tao tunafanya
Check. Unasikia jamaa?
Elasti rada gani?
Semaje kapitani?
Check.
Kuna mambo na day round. Uske wendi ganda na wakenda na mali.
Uko pande gani round? Na deni kutokea. One time niko na machaji.
Haraka basi. Hawa vijana nafikiria wana kina nani? Au nataka tu wapure. Wakicheza tu wanyurie.
Au lazima tuwaguze. Just ametokea amejangori lazima inuke.
Basi cheza na idha. Kuja na sila tuambushwa kiklamira.
Hivyo sindo venye nafaa. Hawana rada sindio kunyamba himta.
Ukiniguza na kujia. Niko na bogi na kuganda na kuibia. Wezi jificha labda wishi kukimbia. Utajihurumia ni kwa choo utalilia.
Ukiniguza na kujia. Niko na bogi na kuganda na kuibia. Wezi jificha labda wishi kukimbia. Utajihurumia ni kwa choo utalilia.
Mi labda tumemutu. Toba kusikizana swali plan kunidhulumu. Wanafikiria tunatoshana wakishala mpaka nusu. Mali yangu ikikosa jua venye tutaishi huku.
Sote mbeza kama jumu. Ama kalulu orezi ya kila mudu. Leta disturbance tukujie wamehuku. Maguni siya kupimie kwenye bumbu.
Na fala lipiga ngumi wanataka mniachie. Wa malaya ndambatola akitaka nifungishe. Ingori alianza niimalize. Nafungua file mtu ajaribu anitulize. ukiniguza na kujia, niko na bogi na kuganda tunakuibia, wezi jificha labda wishi kukimbia, utajihurumia ni kwa choo utalilia.
Ukiniguza na kujia, niko na bogi na kuganda tunakuibia, wezi jificha labda wishi kukimbia, utajihurumia ni kwa choo utalilia.
Ukiniguza na kujia, niko na bogi na kuganda tunakuibia, wezi jificha labda wishi kukimbia.
Tuiwakonolewa na mvutaji bangi, self-employed anazipe dolkejani. Ni shingapi, stinje na tulali, na pia tuzami tukaona dawa hii serikali. Tumefungua na tunashika mahedi, wanavutaka bangi lakini hawanaka medi. Mini hustler pa inja tunaita kwa mapedi. Leo na seti waristi wangu watu daily zikifungwa zinawaka. Nimejipin mapacha ndiyo session inaanza, tuzimie sigara. Na kauliacha kuvuta acha kutufuata, kisi wake utupe upuzija kwa nini uliacha. Kuza nyongi zangu ne bugi mana kikuja, washa ingine skishuka, moshi jaye kwa nyumba. Kianza macho nyanya ilikuwa ni kichwa inauma, kaulianza na local na juu unakumbuka. Sikimambichwa, sikiamsha kinywa, nikiamsha kichwa, tutoe mafreno, ni mafareno. Sikishika paranoia ya kushikwa, sikimambichwa, sikiamsha kinywa, nikiamsha kichwa, tutoe mafreno, ni mafareno. Sikishika paranoia ya kushikwa.
Nipe kilaita na kiriz, mabats nimejipanga na ukileta monkey biz. Unatikiwa na panga, ni kunare kwa ground, so tuko kwa clouds, ni kunare around, venye na sort ma crowds.
Jemo.
Silent killer, aweze nusa niko loud. Stash no
Jemo,
nila,
Jemo,
na ingia loki, utapiwa na doki usiregret.
Tuingia after hii.
Hata ikikuchoki,
Tuingia after hii.
no worries, imezidi paka mamchoki. Na usidis mhedi, uneza dis medi. Na this medi, ni ya kudis
tuingia after
medi.
hii.
Curfew straight, mi ujifungia daily. Kana iperfuse street, hivyo ndio mi ulienda meri. Na kani kifisa, najirequestia. Wedewa zote ni fisa, nahitaji request ya ngai. Kijana mdogo anadai kuchizi juu ya ngwai. Aliambiwa Colorado tamfanya kuwe hai. Sai yako hosi nasikia napoteza uhai. Kifungo cha Nairobi kijana Joana Kinai.
Sikimambichwa, sikiamsha kinywa, nikiamsha kichwa, tutoe mafreno, ni mafareno. Zikishika paranoia ya kushikwa. Sikimambichwa, sikiamsha kinywa, nikiamsha kichwa, tutoe mafreno, ni mafareno. Zikishika paranoia ya kushikwa.
Kijana, kidogo tu hivi niingie bila wewe. Kidogo tu.
Lini na menu wala bis, dirty jeans, look fisa,
Kidogo tu tuanze bila wewe.
Don dada, top skanka,
Kidogo tu hivi tuanze bila wewe.
najisikizia maanka da clean wala bisi.
Haya, keti kitako.
Look fisa, nite don dada, top skanka, Mr. Maganja. Najisikizia maanka da. Napiga chok ya mzinga ni chendo mnaizika. Mamori ya meririma na ria ukabizi meiva ni madharao. Ukifika ria alafu na ninyima, ukuis ni videvu pate heshima. Mwendo mtu naziba mki Hiroshima, kwa bitki tunangusha mamizinga. Kidisi yeta kuto kwenye umejificha. Na wabeba moja moja nikona ingia kanisa. Uwezi pata mwingine kama mimi. Na save madhao kila wiki. Saingine ka warm, saingine ka baridi. Top boys in it, kasimba ya sisi.
Clean I mean you all a beast. Dirty jeans, look fisa. Nite don dada, top skanka, Mr. Maganja. Najisikizia maanka da clean wala beast. Dirty jeans, look fisa. Nite don dada, top skanka, Mr. Maganja. Najisikizia maanka.
Vina mi head kama shi, dirty cheap. Born breakers, killing kwezi beat. Nilienda miss chini ya maji for some weeks. Jimmy Wanjigi mod fala kini beat. Yo, pussy all of them, pussy all of them. Wakwaminia so nataka tuendele. Them pussy all of them, sleta upuzi kwa wazee. Na masela hadida, oda ze. Yo, fana shaga zet, mbuzi ukieza red. Spongi na ma ex, sainataka vitu fresh. Pussy all of them, sleta upuzi kwa wazee. Na masela hadida, oda ze, oda ze, oda ze, oda ze, oda ze, oda ze, oda ze.
Record kweli. Yo Steve, look mazi wakadush para ya kidum lyrically alikwambia what happens in my hood otherwise thing ina doof labda uponywe na mguu chini dis na kanzo kila shughuli na kupata ukiwa juu si tuko mbele yako kimbele mbele weni mwere unatupigia kelele RIP Makeria aliniachia kengele venye kunenda nikanaifanya milele kona dem na mtu wake wamenieka katikati kasi patikani nimekuficha navuta bangi kapitani wezi mpima kona maskio kila mahali kuna mzali dedi kali varia pondo nimeke imani house party tunajibamba na mabadi shaikuwa mamori wakageuka mabani wanataka kuniraze nyupuzi sezi kubali sijakata kushiko bare nzanini jamani huku ni ujitete na pesa tesa ikibamba anaiteka niche yangu kuteleza Kiswahili yetu inawachenga nkona moto kawarena swana shusha bendera mtu yako anauliza kukuhusu hivyo ndo najua mama nataka mjulu nasikizwa na maboss na chezo choche za tunusu nilikuwa high school nikianza marufuku lukmazi wakadush para ya kidum lyrically alikwambia what happens in my hood otherwise thing ina doof labda uponywe na mguu chini dis na kanzo kila shughuli na kupata ukiwa juu si tuko mbele yako kimbele mbele weni mwere unatupigia kelele RIP Makeria aliniachia kengele venye kunenda nikanaifanya milele mvisa namba 9 mpo nataka kuangushia mnisa kiupuzi kuna watu inalisha ni mapapa long as uliusika round 2 ni ya kuwa mbato labda mkauze maembe ushago nimepiga Cortez pusha kama Pablo lazima mtu angesema mna kwa kama tupo bora pori zinaja na wachezea digita hawa manige zifika zile vitu tu andika mbona niende nja mimi ndegea ja chunga kimauta ama unas majera kuna homa na sambaza ukuta shandwa wananijua wepata venye wanaitaka niko juu ya meza au wengine wananifuata weka pake juu ya meza
hapa ni chingri kwa patiko
5
wala nastukan kamepigwa shock eyes on prize usipoteze jicho ni utoshe songa katikati ndo utoshe.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Jam Wellness Wednesdays. I'll be your host, Mike Osumo, and today I'm in the studio with the one and only Mr. Ronny Choge. How are you doing? Is your mic on?
Yes. Now I am on.
Yes. Unasema aje Ronny?
Mkibiaji number 1.
Yeah, you're looking
The
sharp today.
fastest.
What's up?
Ni mambo ya God.
Mambo ya God kweli. You know you like to lie a lot of people. You're telling them mambo ya God ni God. Tell them unafanya nini.
Sasa see, this is what me I do anyway. See that people don't know what I do.
Yeah.
It's I'm just basically giving thanks. That's all.
Okay. It's a beautiful morning right now, and we want to get the quick snapshots of what's getting attention in Kenya daily.
Okay.
Today, and Gachagua is making trends everywhere. All the newspapers is reading Rigathi Gachagua. His name is plastered on every newspaper in Kenya right now. I want us to go to the Daily Standard first. The Daily Nation, sorry. The headline is 4 wasted years. That's with a picture of Rigathi Gachagua on his DCP platform. The Standard is talking about Gachagua bombshell. Okay. To give you let me read the byline for you. Broken promises, failed plans, soaring debt, corruption, and alleged state-backed killings are some of the things Rigathi Gachagua accuses President William Ruto of perpetrating. In a blistering attack, the former deputy president alleged his former boss was presiding over a collapsing economy, trampling on the rule of law, and using a revolving door of grand plans to distract Kenyans from 4 years of broken promises. Government leaders, however, dismissed the claims as the thoughts of a leader desperate for publicity. Is really Gachagua looking for publicity, Roddy?
Now, Mike.
Yeah.
Maybe gain the volume a little bit.
Okay, wait fast. We'll get your put into it. Let's go to the Taifa Leo.
All right.
Taifa Leo is talking about Gachagua alima serikali. And we also have the Star. ODM demands 50% of Ruto government and DP posts. The Star is actually the only one that is not having Rigiji as the headline. Did I read Taifa Leo? Okay,
Yeah,
the
yes,
People's
yes.
Daily
Alima
is
Shamba.
talking about Ruto's 2027 gamble. And I think it's an AI photo of Ruto, caricature, which one resembles Ruto. and he's holding some chips. He's on a casino table, okay? And then lastly, we have Mwananchi. No, the Citizen. The Citizen is talking about government steps in over cement price hikes. The Daily Monitor is talking about grading S.6 grading to change in 2028. And lastly, we have the Business Daily talking about Kenya taps 207 billion loans to pay salaries and debts. Roddy, we have to go to the top headlines of the Standard and Daily Nation. The Gachagua bombshell. Yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua went to his platform on the DCP, and he had a meeting that was, let's say, a presser. Okay, he did a presser, and he actually let out a lot of bombs. You cannot anticipate whatever Rigathi Gachagua is going to say when he comes up to a platform like that. But yesterday was madness. What do you have to say about it?
Well, first and foremost, Mr. Gachagua jana aliamua ku take off the title from Rao.
Imagine.
And God rest Raila's soul in peace. It's just in the context of how Baba used to be, the newsbreaker of the behind the scenes stories.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what Rigiji alisema jana ilikuwa a lot of damning info.
Yeah.
And we're all curious to see if the government will act on it to suggest that, because if these are going to be preposterous lies, these are things that Rigi should better be behind bars. But then if it happens that the government does nothing about it, might give the impression that maybe what he's saying has a sense of truth. Because a lot of what he touched on, even including the post-mortem inquiry into Raila's death, General Gola, Joanna Ngeno even, matters, I don't know, about pesa zilikuwa allocated to communications authorities, zikakuwa redirected to NIS, how there is a cabal of police, dirty cops.
Yeah, dirty cops.
When you wamekuwa stationed Kikuyu police station, to deal decisively with political dissidents of, those ones when you are allied to his side. Now, it's interesting because, for me, behind all that info that he broke down, that it was so huge for him to have been headlines of all the gazettes, particularly on the eve of the day when Ruto looks to, launch the conversation, the Beyond Vision 2030 convo, speaks to my conscience in the sense that, is he being truthful? Is he being genuinely pro people? Or it's because he is on the other side of the, of the table? Because now, what has changed? When he was in, there are clips, many without number actually, zenye alikuwa anatetea sana, the very many things that right now he is so against. Now, for me as a Kenyan, I like what he's doing, because this is patriotism at its best. Because it helps when we have, balance of government. But now, if we are going to have balance of government at the expense of who is getting fed or who is in government, because now imagine, had he still been the deputy president, would we have gotten this intel? Because apparently he's been sitting at this intel for the longest. He even said that NIS wamejaribu ku hack into his systems to get a glimpse of what he was saying. That was his actually preamble before anza akasema, I know Kasongo and his team have been trying senseless to get leaks of what I'm planning, but I did the statement myself and Mama Boys did the typing. So unless that you can get to Mama Boys, which I believe is our very esteemed Pastor Dorcas, then you won't get to know what I'm going to talk about. So for me, I like that it's very huge bombshells, but are we getting only these bombshells only because it's outside government? Yeah, that's my key concern, because then that would only be, again, bad politics.
That's a very key question you raised there, Ronnie, because I remember the time Rigiji and Ruto were starting this movement, and they were elected, and they were fresh candidates, okay? And they already became the president and the deputy president. The conversation that was there, Rigiji was talking about shares and everybody, the government being a company, okay? And at that time, he didn't check the government as it was, because I remember they were also alleged that they also disrupted the peace of Uhuru's land at Northlands.
Northlands, right.
Yes, talking about the sheep and the goats that
yeah,
were being
tuliona.
looted there.
Right.
You see, now we're seeing a different shape and perspective on his side, because right now he's actually checking the government. He's trying to be like he's trying to become the good side. He's trying to show us the good side of
him,
of his side, and it's bringing a lot of questions, because if the government has perpetrated everything that he's talking about, where are we going as a country? Because those were serious allegations, and coming from a former deputy president, it brings a lot of questions. And because right now he's having a very huge impact on the coming 2027 elections. So is this propaganda? Is he trying to wave votes? Is he trying to look for mercy? What is he trying to do?
I think it's less to do with him, vouching for mercy and sympathy, but very more on discrediting the character of William Ruto.
Okay.
Of trying to assassinate the character of president. Otherwise, he would have been angeza waeka wote as a unit. But you can see the gist and content of, or the gist and substance of what Rigathi yesterday read out to the nation, ilikuwa personal vendetta against William.
Yes.
And it's of course it invites the interpretation that it also would be campaign fodder, because right now we are getting into the campaign mode. Actually,
Yes.
we are now officially into the year of the elections.
Yeah.
And looks to me right now it would be, I don't know, is it about a game of mudslinging? Because
Okay.
I'd want to say so, but now we haven't heard anything from Ruto's side. Hatujawasikia the other side of the story, which again, leaves the Kenyans who are now with popcorn on their seats watching the TV, they dismayed,
Polydrama.
because they were hoping maybe to get some back and forth to hear
Yes.
sasa na wewe ukafanya hivi, because there are times our president has been on top of his of his huge vehicles out there saying we know somebody who murdered, which might give the
Yes.
impression that they are now getting and at each other, sorry.
Yes.
And I while this is good news, I won't say good news, it helps that it's giving us information, because it's not good news to say the
Yes.
least. It's just that I feel like it's Kenyan politics at play,
Okay.
because when everything is against your favor, you now become the truth sayer.
Yes.
But when you are being fed nothing, the common mwananchi might as well not know of anything.
Yeah.
Which again, for me, I feel that's where Rigathi might have failed me. I would have really loved that this had been his stance from get-go. And Mike, look at it this way. Assuming he's now walking into the negotiation tables with the United Alternative Government,
Yeah.
the people we saw standing beside him. I was even shocked by that to see Mr. Peter Munya,
Yeah.
who in one of his interviews at the JKL, Rigathi is a bully. But yesterday I was seeing him rank and file, towing the line behind Rigathi, shikana mikono. Actually, they held hands together.
Yes.
And for me, that speaks to, I don't know, is this politics of convenience?
Yeah.
Like, are we being treated to this because it favors and suits the moment?
Yeah.
And for that bargaining table, I can imagine now all those men seated there, imagining that one day this could be us tunasemwa kwa TV. Like, could this guy ever go? Maybe if we all decide to go on separate paths, as politics is always turned out to be, will he start now saying, in fact, Matiang'i yeye ndio ali Kalonzo yeye ndio ali. It puts people in a very jittery position, an anxious spot, to say the least, Mike.
Yeah, you see now, whatever you said is might be true and can be true, or somebody can interpret it to be true. Because you see, when you say we are seeing different scenes, it's more like it's like a movie. When they are on camera and they are doing their rallies, it's throwing words at each other, calling names, calling people out. But then behind the scenes, these guys are meeting. They're being seen in hotels together.
Right.
They're being seen behind the scenes laughing and making banter, which actually might make you think that are these guys acting in front of us? But then behind the scenes these guys are good friends, more like a polydrama type of genre movie. And it brings a lot of questions because, as you said, if this is everything that he said was true, why is the DCI not taking action? Why are the NIS not doing anything? Is the intelligence true? Why is no any government parastatal or the government bodies doing anything to counteract whatever he's saying? And I remember there was a time where the people on X, you would get arrested for posting even a caricature of the president, an image that looks like him, not him, image that looks like him, and it will bring a lot of Subarus your way, and you'll find yourself somewhere abducted in the middle of nowhere. And you see, now it brings a lot of questions. Why does it the rule changes or the law change when it comes to leaders? Does the law change? Does the law only apply to the citizens? Because those are serious allegations, and no one is taking, no one is doing anything about it.
Mike, you've rightfully put it. The law changes against the citizen, but in favor of the Politburo. Now, I'll explain. There's this analogy that I was treated to this morning while reading one of, I don't know, the president's pressman. That's Linjiru. And he was saying in one of those events that times that he got to relate with Moi on a personal level, Moi once intimated to him that be mindful as a hunter when you are going out with your dog for hunting, because you might go there and you find jackals and foxes, and then you forget that these jackals and foxes are cousins with the dog, and they might end up against you. Which now explains to me how the common mwananchi, we are going out into these elections with the hope of redeeming and liberating Kenya. And if these are our dogs, these are our hounds that we are going for hunting with, these people are very much more likely to team together against us than they are able to team with us, against each other. Which, speaks to me. You were mentioning how when it's during the Maandamano era, Subaru wa Mambaru walikuwa wanatokea, when you just make as much as an anti-government, an anti-establishment post. Case in point is Alberto Juang. We saw how that spiraled down fast. And that's in the case of a humble, a common Kenyan. But now, when it comes to these guys, be it either in the opposition or in government, you'll realize that kuna a sense of complacency enye wanakuwa held nayo, you see. And that's I also feel as a country it's telling that tunafaa tukue mindful, like walking into these elections. These guys are more cousins amongst each other than they are with us. And what you've said, by the way, it's very true, Mike. Why is it that the law is selective when it comes to the common mwananchi, who we are made to understand is the boss?
True, that's a conversation we need to have, Ronnie. It's quite alarming.
Right. So, which again begs the question: is Rigathi doing all of this? Because now you can see the kind of intel that he's giving is dating way back.
True.
Like we are talking to Baba's and demise. We are talking about Joanna Ngeno. We're talking about even Francis Ogola.
I remember talked about Ogola and
when Ogola passed on Osumo, I wasn't even into the city yet. Bado mimi nilikuwa nachunga ngombe huko Geshagi. And for him to have hoarded that information to this particular time also invites in my mind that he's only doing this for political expediency. Because otherwise angekuwa ashatupatia hiyo brief intel so that it can be acted upon. Right now you can imagine how we've seen them at loggerheads with even the DCI, achana hata na the presidency, the DCI, how at one point Mohamed anasema Rigathi, you are talking with these guys. As regards the Dr. Mutiso story. Rigathi is on this other hand saying there are these particular police who have been discharged despite being arrested. And he highlighted the point that these policemen were from a particular tribe. You see, almost as though to polarize and to bring the question of ethnicity into all of this, which for me it would be very unfortunate. It's a good thing that information is coming to the fore. It's a bad thing that we only get this information because of political expediency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you've said, Ronnie, is actually correct, most of it. Because why this time? Why come and give us this information at the time that it was needed? It wasn't available. You see. So does it mean you want to influence us in some type of way? Are you trying to change people's perception on someone? What is your main goal with this information? Which brings a lot of questions, and the DCI also should question Mr. Rigathi Gachagua on where he got this intel, and if it's correct, how did he know it? And why don't the DCI don't know? Actually, that they should also ask themselves those questions. Or if they know, why did they keep it private to the public?
You know, that's why I was saying it feels like, you know, how a relationship always seems to be cozy and happy while they are still together, and then now once the divorce happens, dirty linen inakuwa sasa our source of entertainment.
Yes.
And it will beg the question, of course, is even the police or the discipline apparatus, the Directorate of, you know, Criminal Investigation, is it now split? Because it's suggesting that there is a side of it allied to Rigathi, which always seems to feed him intel, while then there is that other side which continues to hold the ground of the government.
Yeah.
Even among the police, for instance, because he's saying there is now a unit and is being executed against maybe political dissidents, also to get goons into the streets, because they are saying actually a lot of the guys we've been seeing on screen with balaclavas.
Yes.
Okay, this was my interpretation of that these are goons wenye walipatiwa mabunduki.
Yeah.
Na mabunduki ni zile zilipotea time ya maandamano.
Yes.
So you see, it's almost like a conspiracy theory of jigsaw fit here and there to make sense of that. It also gives the idea that President Ruto, as the head of the executive, is heading a very shaky executive. Because how is it that there are some people who are there who have sworn to work with you and are giving intel? Because that's how else would Rigathi be getting this information, you know? For me, I'd really love to see the DCI, or even the NCIC, take Rigathi's words, you know, and charge him against those words, so tupate kujua ukweli hata sisi wa Kenya, because it's really dissatisfying to say that Rigathi will come say this and then he'll go, and then nothing will be on the, as in the government won't do anything on its side. I feel like he should be put to the test and justify that what he's saying is actually true, so that as a result Kenyans wasiseme hii tu ni fitina tunapewa. You know, we get to see and understand the truth. I believe we have a very, very excellent constitution, and it will help us sieve this data that Kinarigi are throwing about in the air, and we get to find the truth of the matter as a country. I wouldn't just want it to be petty speech and allegations.
Yes.
I'd love for him to be charged against those. Ndio tujue kama either ni kweli ama ni mbaya, because if it is true,
yes,
that means that's going to mean something.
Yeah.
And again, if it isn't true, that means everybody, including the likes of Kina Albert, who used to tweet things, should also be let loose anyway, because that was just its allegations. You get?
Yeah.
And it also piques my interest that he mentioned the issue of Francis Ogola. And Ogola passed on Mike on April 18th. And Rigathi was impeached in October later that year. So it begs the question, you were in government when all of this was happening.
Why didn't you say it?
Why didn't you say it then?
Yes.
Why are you saying it only now when you are outside? Which would give credit to what now Ruto allies came out to say, being led by Ishungwa. Alikuwa nasema Rigathi is just being bitter. And that would therefore, you know, it would give credit to that. So it feels like double speak, you know, to me. Yeah, while it might be true, while it might not, the convenience of and how, you know, situating it at this time, I can't help but think that this is just petty politics.
Looking at this situation, you might say that Rigiji is like ule mtoto mmeenda kucheza and then mmeiba skari. you go and or a chapati or something. And then akishashikwa tumepatikana Ronny toka tumepatikana si wote anaanza kukutaja,
right,
anakutaja and everything goes haywire. Now Rigiji has been making rounds with those remarks that he made, and ODM now demands deputy slot 50% share of state posts.
ODM.
Yes, ODM had discussions. Was it in Naivasha?
Yeah, it was in Naivasha.
Yes, and I think part of those discussions they were talking about those sharing of
power
shares.
sharing.
Yes,
power sharing.
ODM now, what do you think about it? How is it going on? Vile nania Oburu may step up sasa. He's bringing a lot of drama in that party. That party has been with drama since Baba left.
I think we should also give Baba was and still remains one of the most charismatic leaders we've had.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys have listened to his brother Oburu. Oburu has a way of, tickling guys like crazy. Yes. I was watching while he was actually making his statement. President Ruto stood rightfully behind him.
Yeah.
Akasimama akamflank tu hapo nyuma, and Ruto was, hurting our oldie, which I really respect the person that is Oburu. For someone his age, to be able to hold all, or to manage whatever he's able to manage, that's not easy task. Anyway, I recall he mentioned that our governance is not about shares.
Yeah.
It's not about we will serve regardless how people, despite whatever inclinations people will, have.
Yes.
We will still serve the country.
Yeah.
So alikuwa nasema yetu itakuwa nchi ya kushughulikia kila mtu vilivyo, equitable share of resources. And then immediately he said there's also another team that is now going to be tasked with discussing how we are now going to share the power. So it was okay. I love that he said it in jest, but now it speaks to my mind that wait, see shares, but now we are talking about power.
Yeah.
So it looks like different sides of the same coin. Yeah, different sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Which we could maybe credit to his age.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, ODM are saying they are coming in to the negotiating table, not just with numbers.
Yeah.
Because apparently ODM does have numbers, albeit being now a fractured one. And that not only numbers, but also quality. He says he has some of quality leadership, quality policies. He says they are going to also hold Kenya Kwanza to account on whatever manifestos they are standing by, because they are saying even they in their own manifesto walikonga na mambo ya affordable housing, universal health coverage. So it's also, they are saying by the ODM is not being swallowed. We're just working with, and we will also be keen on ensuring key principles of and dictums of ODM are held.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it of course now has to invite the question of, if you people are walking into the election as a coalition, definitely mutataka kusema nataka CS namna hii, nataka PSS namna hii, because they haven't fronted for presidency. And they are saying we are foregoing all that so that hapo baadaye tutagawa hiyo power. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out.
It's going to be interesting times are going to witness there. Now, yesterday, Ronny, there are some goons arrested. They were blocking. They're blocking the roads there.
Hurlingham, the one that I told you about.
Yeah. And apparently, this is the fattest goon I've ever seen. This guy was arrested, and then he went even and took a pose while he was being taken photo by the DCI. And it was a really funny one, because these guys, they were not armed. They were just there, a big mob, and then they'll just come there, you're with your car, and they will start harassing you.
Right.
In the middle of Hurlingham, bro, even the KDF is just there.
DOD kwa hapo.
Au jamaa kwani kitu yake ilikuwa wapi?
You see, sometimes, Mike, it's very telling of how now our police, our discipline apparatus as in its entirety.
Yes.
You're looking at the KDF, you're looking, okay, maybe KDF tunaweza absolve kidogo.
Yeah.
But the police, the DCI, you it begs the question, what's going on there, bana?
Yes.
Nini inaendelea?
Now it comes to sum up and you say, hey, maybe Rigiji is saying the truth.
Maybe
about
Murkomen
handling those guys and releasing people.
Okay, let me tell you, it could be or couldn't be true that it's Murkomen handling them.
Yes.
But inaweza kuwa ni either of those commissioners in there.
No, because the confidence of these guys is actually
that's what I'm
is,
saying. It could be
alarms.
it could be also the other commissioners, the other higher ups, because you understand there is a hierarchy to this system before ufikie kwa Kipchumba Murkomen ambaye sasa tu he's just the interior CS, but even more prominently until ufikie the president, because he is the head of the executive and the chief, the commander in chief. So it could be that the police system is being polluted hata from huku chini. Ushaisikia ile concept ya raisi si mubaya ni wale wamemzunguka. So it could be also the same case that in otherwise or let's say nevertheless, it's just telling that there is problem and issue in our police department or our discipline forces. Because me, that story of Hurlingham, it really piqued my interest, because Hurlingham of all places, Hurlingham is one of those bourgeoisie areas.
Imagine.
And uptown manze. Alafu hapo kuna Kilimani police post, kuna DOD, and these guys are doing it in broad daylight. And then now you're telling me he was the most sizable good that you've ever seen, also posing. It
was very flexing, imagine.
And looking at most of these people who always pose as goons, be it in the Hurlingham case, in the Ol Kalou case, even the ones at what's the church in Tower, is the name in Toka. It helps. I can't help but think, aren't these also the Gen Zs we were seeing out there in the streets? At least by judging by the age and general outlook, it feels like the same people wenye tulikuwa tuna hope wanakomboa inchi, they're also destroying it brick by brick, and it's devastating to say the least.
Now we are almost wrapping it up, Ronnie. Today we are going to have the Creative Corners session.
All right.
And today I'll be having Mugambi.
Okay.
Today I'll be having 2 artists. And we're going to have fun. So I would like to remind you that this is Icon Radio, the #1 entertainment plug, and this is Breakfast Jam Wellness Wednesdays, and I'm here with Ronny Choge. We're discussing the political discourse and what has been happening in the political scene. And Ronnie, did you see the Ruto family has been trending for a minute now? Now, apart from Charlene, George is also trending in Instagram everywhere. Yes, he's actually commenting on teacher. I'm forgetting the handle.
Oh yes. Mode wa watoi.
Yes.
Teacher Cecil or something like that. Yeah. Sele. Yeah.
Sele, yes.
I believe Sele.
And now he has been caught in the comment sections of Teacher Sele, and now Teacher Sele has made it a content, and he's now making it like a series, how they will be with George Ruto, and he's really fantasizing about everything, and it's lovely. You have to see it.
I've seen the banter. It started off yesterday actually with Sele saying bana, I think there was a comment ya George Ruto akisema TSC namba yako ni confirm.
Yeah, you saw the comment.
Sele is like nitume kwa namba gani. It speaks Osumo. I wouldn't call it the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
But something like it, because you see, it happens right now in the Kenyan context. We could say kuna wenye wanaona ni kama Gavando ni the tormentor.
Yes.
I'd imagine those at Rigath's camp. That's how they look at it, But sometimes it's also that this same tormentor ndio anaweza kubadilishia maisha. Because right now I feel like maybe Rigi is doing all of this because he was edged out of the relationship.
Yeah.
But assuming he's brought back in, I've missed you. I'd missed this place. I'd missed this residence, blah, blah, blah. And all the goodies and privileges that come with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, for Sele, it looks like she knows that akiwa tu na George Ruto hivi, maisha yake imechange.
Yeah.
Maisha yake iko so gone out of the block. Tutachoka hatamuona tena kwa hizo classrooms.
Yeah.
She might as well even get off TikTok for all it's worth, and it's interesting to see. Now this is the Kenya of today.
Yes.
Kitambo ilikuwa kupatana hadi na the sons and daughters of the high and mighty ilikuanga tu a pipe dream, but nowadays courtesy of the internet, and I've seen by the how GK is a bit amechangamka kwa social media yake, which is very telling of a first start kusema first son, as in first family, a member of the first family. And it's interesting. Okay, me, for all goodness and purposes, I wish that banter it materialize into something meaningful.
For Zele.
For GK, it might just be another, op moment yake tu ya optics.
Yes.
But for Sele it might mean something life changing, and as members of the block what tunasema tu kama mtu anaomoka na anatoka block, by all means
A win is a win.
A win is a win. Bao ni bao, ijalishi limefungwa vipi.
And we are coming to the end of the show. This was the Breakfast Jam Wellness Wednesdays. I'm your host Michael Osumo, and I was joined today with Ronny Choge. And guys, we'll see you on the next one. It has been lovely having you as my audience, and it's a wrap. We'll see you on the next one. Love.